Fair enough. Well, speaking of that trophies, the next question that we come on to, the final question about this debate series about Mbappe and Haaland, is who do we see, or you two specifically, who do you see becoming the most successful or winning more? Obviously, Mbappe's won a World Cup. He's won a lot more than Haaland already. But could you see Haaland moving to a big club? Who, although he's won more at the moment, obviously, if Haaland moves to a big club, obviously the thing is, Mbappe is not going to not win anything again. I mean, at the moment, if he stays at PSG, he's pretty much guaranteed to win loads of league and trophies and domestic cups. Whether they win the Champions League, I mean, personally, I think PSG this year, I think have got a good chance to win it because of just the team that they've got, and I think it might be their best chance. I mean, obviously, I think Bayern are probably going to be considered favourites. City as well could be up there. I think Liverpool could have a good run in the Champions League because I think it looks like you might be prioritising that. So I think the Champions League is a bit wide open this year. But if I had to predict anyone, I would say Bayern Munich to win it because, I mean, I know they've had a bit of a slip up since they've come back from the Club World Cup. I mean, they drew to Arminia Bielefeld 3-3, which is a disappointing result. And then they lost to Frankfurt, who are doing well in the Bundesliga. So, I think the Bundesliga title race, I do think Bayern Munich will win it. Seems to be, it's got a lot closer, and Leipzig are doing well as well. So, which made it even better result for Liverpool in midweek against a good Leipzig side. But who do we think will win the most trophies in their career? We'll start with Ethan first.
I think their next clubs will be a really big indication of how many trophies they'll win in their career. Individually, I think it's going to be really, really tight in like Ballon d'Ors. Who's going to win the most Ballon d'Ors out of the two? I think we're potentially going to be seeing like a Messi Ronaldo reign between these two players in the next few years.
Yeah, I agree with that, to be fair.
So, for example, if what we think will happen with Haaland going to City and Mbappe eventually going to Real Madrid, I think Real Madrid are more likely to get a Champions League than Man City for me, due to their history of the club, knowing how to win a Champions League and everything. We'll see if City will ever win a Champions League. I think it's inevitable that they will do, but they haven't done, and like they always fall at the last hurdle when it comes to the Champions League. Man City do.
Well, they've not even reached the final hurdle, because the final hurdle is basically the final. They've not even got to the final yet.
So I think personally, if they don't win the Champions League, I think City, Pep's reign at City being classed as a failure.
I agree, and vice versa, and for PSG as well. If PSG don't win if Mbappe doesn't win a Champions League with PSG or entirely in his career, then it would be classed as a failure because he's the sort of player who should be winning one. And obviously, if you're comparing, obviously you got Haaland at Man City. The Premier League's a tighter league in general. Like if everyone's on fire, fit and firing, obviously if you've got like a proper United side, a proper Liverpool side, maybe Chelsea in there as well, along with City, then Haaland's going to find it harder to win trophies. But obviously if you've got Real Madrid with Mbappe, you've only really got Barcelona and maybe Atletico that could pose a threat to a trophy.
You got to think logically as well. If Haaland goes to City, his last club will not be Man City because of his agents. Mbappe, if Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, you could argue his last club is Real Madrid, depending on the career he has.
It depends. I mean, obviously, we've got Lionel Messi who could potentially go to Man City as well from Barcelona. No one expected that really. So even if he sticks it out at Real Madrid and like he doesn't do as well, I think he could still do something at another club, maybe like a Juventus or maybe
Mbappe.
Yeah, maybe he could even go to a Premier League side as well, maybe at some point down the line. But obviously, we're thinking more like what would happen in their careers. But obviously, we've got to look at what do we think.
I don't see, unless Mbappe drops off massively, because Mbappe is not in his prime. You need to remember, Mbappe is not in his prime at the moment.
Oh no.
So his stock will always increase. I do not see any club. I think. Mainly focusing financially, I don't see any club managing to pay the amount of money that Mbappe would cost in the future.
Mm.
No chance. Because he's not going to go back. Why would he go back to PSG? He's already been at PSG. PSG's Paris Saint-Germain is his hometown club. Why would he go back?
He might do it. Maybe feels like a connection, maybe with the fans or something. Maybe along, like, if obviously actual like proper PSG fans, he might feel that like connection with them. He might want to go back and do some more with them, but that wouldn't be until the end of his career. I'd say obviously he'd spend more of his time at a big like Real Madrid or a Barcelona.
People will look back at this podcast and say we predicted it.
Or Liverpool, obviously, but yeah.
But
Penny's not going to Liverpool. Get out.
If I had to ask you to,
honestly, mate, if he goes to Liverpool, I'll tell you what, I'll be.
But so George, who do you think will win more trophies? Then do you feel it'd be Mbappe or Haaland?
I just feel the way that Mbappe's career is going, and I feel like with the potential destinations that he's got afforded to him, I feel Mbappe is going to be set up long term to join a team that will win trophies regularly.
Like you, Ethan.
I know it's going against my player, but I do think Mbappe will win more. Mainly due to like the club that he's at now and the club that he'll probably be in the future. Haaland, arguably, Mbappe will, I think for me, it's inevitable that Mbappe goes to Real Madrid. I don't see any other club buying Mbappe, honestly. But with Haaland, due to his release clause and due to age, he's more likely to go to different clubs in his career. So, and with the Premier League, hopefully, fingers crossed, it's more of a league where it's open who may win, who might win. I know Man City are dominating at the moment, but Liverpool might come into play in a few seasons. United might come into play in a few seasons. Chelsea might come into play in a few seasons. Leicester maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so there's more variety of who
Everton
could potentially win.
God.
Even Everton maybe. But I think if Haaland went to City, it's not for certain that City will win the Premier League every season. Like Real Madrid could potentially win the league every season in La Liga. So I do think Haaland would probably win more titles.
I feel that if Haaland went to City, he'd have a similar career to how Aguero ended when he was at City.
But I don't think he stays at City that long.
No, but okay. Well, obviously Aguero's obviously stayed at City for most of his pro career. He's obviously made most of his prime at City, but I just feel that's how Haaland might just end up. He might move on, and obviously he might try other clubs to see if he can get more trophies under the bag and just build his legacy, basically. But yeah, I know what you're saying, but I just feel Mbappe the way his career is panning out so far.
Exactly, yeah.
He's on the way to winning a lot of trophies, no matter what club if he goes to this Real Madrid side.
And also thinking about it, I think career-wise, I think Haaland would probably be more of a Ibrahimovic type than a Lewandowski type, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But Ibras went to different clubs during his career and he's banged in the goals. Lewandowski's arguably been at two big clubs in his career.
True.
So,
well, obviously, when it comes to the point where I have to decide who wins this debate, I think both have made compelling arguments. I think, if I have to go through it, it's a difficult decision because it's one of them that it could be tilted either way. I think, in terms of me, when it comes to as a player in the future, I think Mbappe's probably got more on his side because he's probably got more pace. He's probably got better agility and stuff like that. Whereas Haaland will have physical strength and be a threat from all areas in the box. So he'd be a predator, more of a predator possibly, where Mbappe will probably become a player where he'll be out more on the wing or, he'll be trying to cut in, scoring goals like that. That's the type of player he is.
You need to think, though, pace and agility can leave you towards the end of the career. You'll always have your strength. You'll always have your physicality.
Hang on, so can physicality then? If you're bearing it on that, then
name one strike who's lost their physicality due to an old age. He was physical.
Could you count Alan Shearer? Alan Shearer surely lost that sort of physicality.
No, he didn't.
I'm pretty sure he did.
No, he didn't.
I'm pretty sure he did.
No, he didn't.
And Mbappe, Haaland will lose his pace as well. I'd say probably quicker as well because of the frame of him.
Haaland hasn't really got that much pace.
Oh, Haaland's rapid.
Not compared to Mbappe.
Compared to Mbappe, you don't compare him, but don't underestimate Haaland.
We're not, but like
Ethan, Mbappe, he's not as quick as Traore or Alphonso Davies.
I'd say no. Yes, he is.
No, he's not. No, he's
yes,
not.
he is.
No, he's not.
I'd say he's up. No, I'd say he's one of the fastest players in the world. But
yeah,
my point is with Haaland, like he's for the goal. Like I was watching on Twitter the other day, well, no, not the other day, today. Dortmund were in their box. Haaland wins the head. They pass it to Sancho. Sancho's running down the centre of the goal. You see Haaland running, like keeping it on pace with Sancho, and Sancho lays off to Haaland, and he blasts into the top corner.
Sancho's not that
then you can look at Mbappe's goal against Barcelona, where he absolutely he blitzes past PK.
But I'm not saying Haaland's quicker than Mbappe.
I know that.
All I'm saying is Haaland's quick. Haaland's still quick.
Okay, I'm not denying that, but I just feel if you were running 1-on-1 against if you're running against the defence, who would you prefer to have? The pace of Mbappe, or like say Haaland, who maybe isn't as fast, but maybe players can get back in time.
I mean,
for me, Haaland's a complete striker.
Bloody Ethan could get past bloody Gerard Piqué. Yeah, Gerard Piqué's.
Oh well, you can't disrespect Piqué.
He's got a point.
He's done well. No, I don't know. I just feel.
All I'm saying is the attributes Haaland has as a player will have more longevity in his career compared to Mbappe's attributes now.
I don't think so.
His key with Mbappe's key attributes, you can say now, is his agility and his pace. Those two attributes decrease when you're hitting like 29, 30.
But then you're saying Haaland's got pace as well. But with
Haaland, his key attributes is his physicality and his finishing. Those attributes don't leave you.
I think I'm out of my mind.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with
that. It's a bloody hard decision for me. If I'm going to, Ryan's telling me one thing, and other side's telling me other stuff. You know, they've both got pros and cons. If I had to be brutally honest, it's a very, very close call. They're both fantastic and amazing players and have great careers. But if I had to pick, I'm going to go just on the fact that the goal scoring and the record that he'll have, I'm going to have to go for Haaland.
Yes!
It's very close. I mean, I could have easily said Mbappe, but it's just come down to me. What's the main point of a striker, and that is to put the ball in back.
Come back to me. I want to have the last word on this because it's
put ridiculous. The W's in the chat.
Come back to me when they both retire. Who will have the more trophies in their career?
Put the W's in the chat.
Who will look back on their winners' medals and go?
Well, that's the point. That's the point of a debate, George.
I'm just saying. You find that okay. I get that, but I'm just going to say now. If you go in the future now, if you look at their careers and you go, who had the better career, you will people say Mbappe. I'm going to say that.
Okay, George, you may well be right, and I'll hold hands up if he does, and I'm sure Ethan will. But at the moment, it's hard to pick. But if I look into the future, I just think his goal scoring ability. I'm not saying Mbappe's a bad finisher at all. Mbappe is a very good finisher. He's fantastic, in fact. I mean, he's just got a hat-trick against Barca. But, in terms of...
Barcelona, they're the best team in the world.
Barcelona, I know.
But reputation of them, though. You can't, it's a reputation-based thing.
Yeah.
Well, Nottingham Forest got reputation.
Yeah,
Not for the last
okay.
couple of years.
That's just silly. Yeah, they are a big club, but Barcelona are still, although they are struggling, they are a team that's still in the Champions League and are considered one of the better sides.
Well,
But-
okay, all right. Just quickly, who's Haaland like? Was Haaland? Has Haaland scored against a big team in that way? Then,
He scored against PSG.
Yeah, did they win the game? Did they win? Did
Yeah.
they get?
Yeah. They
No, they
won.
didn't.
They won the game. They won the game, but he scored against PSG.
They got knocked
Yeah,
out.
but they got knocked out the next round. Yeah, okay, granted, but Haaland.
Mbappe's done better against bigger teams
I know.
And you argue. All I'm saying is, the Champions League. You don't play against all the big teams. It's a luck of a draw. So you can't blame Haaland.
Towards the end, you do though.
You can't. It's the big clubs he's played against. He scored against them. He scored against Liverpool. He scored against PSG.
I mean,
he scored against Bayern.
He didn't win in those games, did he?
The question is he scoring? Is he scoring in those games?
No, but you got to
George. You could say
he didn't win the games with Mbappe's won those games.
Okay, no, but okay, PSG they get battered 6-0 by Barcelona again. So is Mbappe on the same level as Haaland then because he didn't win the next game?
Well, no, but it's
the point I made in the first leg of that Champions League game.
To him at the moment.
In the first leg of that Champions League game, Haaland scored against PSG.
Yeah, but but he could have done maybe something in the second leg which got them through that game that time into PSG.
Let me look at
obviously, when the pressure was on him, he obviously didn't perform to that level. He did it in the first leg. That's anyone can do it in the first leg, but it's the second leg that counts. And PSG were the team that did it.
So Haaland scored 2 in the first leg, and PSG scored 2 in the second leg. And also Mbappe didn't score in either leg of that game. Just saying.
Yeah, but it's going to be remembered at the end of his career who's won more in terms of trophies, and obviously
that's based on.
There'll come a point where Mbappe will have that moment as well. But I just feel that if you look at their careers come the end of their time in football, Mbappe would have won more, in my opinion. Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, we'll obviously we'll see in the future. But I just on terms of goals, I've based my thing on goals for me at the moment. And yeah, I do think Mbappe will win more. For me, it's a difficult one. I'm going to stick with Haaland. I could easily go and say I think Mbappe, but I do think I'm going to stick with Haaland and just say that.
I think Haaland has more longevity in his career. Mbappe gets an ACL injury, he's not got the same pace he does now.
You could say the same with Haaland, though, especially as he's a bigger man as well.
But he's more physical. Haaland's a more complete striker than Mbappe.
I'll tell you what. All level. Mbappe won more, but Haaland, for me, I think will still be a bigger goal scorer than Mbappe. But I think Mbappe will win more, but I think Haaland will win a lot as well. But anyway, that's my.
Bennett, all I'm saying is, if you have that attitude, that means Paul Scholes better centre mid than Steven Gerrard.
But there's different ways. And then you're saying, oh well, you know, it could be all day on
that is another topic to discuss.
We could have a whole story on that.
Exactly. So, from a final review of the whole thing, I'm going to give it to Ethan on a 55 to 45 basis. Ethan wins this debate. Very close. George did put some very good points, and George could be fully right in the future, and we'll have to hold our hands up and we'll look back at this and be like, told you so. And I'll be the first to hold my hands up and say, yep, correct, George. But
let's face it, when it does happen, we'll be in our 40s.
What?
When we do talk about...
He's got point.
When we do talk about when...
Well, anyway. But yeah, so I'm going to give this one to you for 55 to 45 basis. Because I just think Mbappe will have more goals than him. Haaland will have more goals than him, which I think will ultimately determines the point of a striker. But obviously, you want to win stuff as well. But yeah, so I'm going to stick with that. So thanks very much, guys, for watching this podcast.
Put in the comments your opinions on both players.
I mean,
who do you think
personally,
would fit in?
if it's going to be me, I mean, I think Dan James, Amad Diallo, and Shola Shatur are going to have much better careers and going to be Ballon d'Or winners for 10 years. In a row. But that's my opinion. I mean, Dan James for me, I think he's better than Mbappe by a country mile. But yeah, that's
for me, Coach Jones would be the best midfielder in world football.
As Kylian Mbappe scores a wonder goal versus Newcastle. No, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't scored a 10-yard shot. He just can't do it. But anyway,
is Mbappe bagging goals in the Europa League?
Goal in the FA Cup against Everton. That's what I'm just saying.
Good evening, everybody. A pleasure and a privilege, as always, to be at Anfield, where we are hoping for another miracle like Istanbul. Shaqiri in his own half rolls it square towards Matip. Mitchell Mane, mistake, Mane into the area. Great skill, Henderson's in the box. Henderson, save
City celebrating. The party really is just getting started. They've had to wait a very long time.